I'm thinking there's something going on in the shoulders.
Yeah.
Because last week it was
Shoulders.
a tough shoulder press and it was a short range of motion. And here he seems like those shoulders are riding high. I love the form. I love his shins. His shins are so upright. You see that? I'm okay with where you're putting the dumbbells because you're pulling the elbows down.
Generation Iron texted them. They said they might be able to come early.
Okay, David. Hey, David. So, was your goal, just put it down here, would you? Was your goal to get to 220? Because I know that I saw some before and afters that we did last year, and I know at one point when you did the dry out and everything, really pushed it. You got down to a weight of 217 from what it looks like here. So now you're back down to 220-ish. And the goal, from what I see, is you're going to try to go to 197, 198, which would be awesome, which would be really awesome. So, and you're not a short guy, so under 200 pounds is very light. So good job for you. Mostly from where you came from, man. It's tremendous. So it is form check Friday. So we're gonna do this again. We're gonna look over these forms, and you guys can watch this as I dissect this and analyze it. We're gonna try to do this to where we all can watch the form and then analyze it together. How's that sound? Jeffrey, is that a possibility, my friend?
Yeah.
So this will be something I'll try to do every Friday with you guys, okay?
Bam.
All right, here's number one.
You ready for that?
All right, ready when you are.
You are ready? Bam. Let's watch the man, James.
James, in future, let's just cut the beginnings and ends out. Let that refresh. Let it go through a second time.
Let's see the end. Is that what you're saying?
No, just let it keep going. It just was catching.
Is it not right?
It's catching and going.
Oh, it's anyway.
Because
I left it.
I got you.
I gotta stay on it. I can't.
Oh, I see.
I can't go back. Ain't no thing.
Whew, that's a tough set. That's a tough superset.
It is.
So, so I think it's great. I think it looks great. To make it better, there seems to be an urgency to get through the set instead of just going one rep at a time. But that's really nitpicking. That's just me going, hey, can we just make it a little better? Sure.
Well, that's what this is about. Right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess, yeah, you want to know if you can make it a little better, and you can. You can make it a little better. If you can, each rep, show me that you're finishing each rep, if that makes sense. It just seemed like you were getting through it. You knew it was a tough set, and so you wanted to blast through it. I would rather just kind of slow down and live in that pain a little bit. Okay, but that was great. I was hoping to see what we did last week, but as the workouts change and everything, we got to change with them, right? So that was good. I'm happy with that form, James. Good job. Way to do to also just to use the Titan Crew platform for what it's there for, and take advantage of learning about techniques and forms and how you can even get better. I love it, man. You're a workhorse, kid. You're a workhorse, and I love that. Randy's in. All right. Here we go.
Got our man Eddie.
The Rivy, yeah. Ooh, that's solid. Look at that pull. I'm thinking there's something going on in the shoulders.
Yeah.
Because last week it was
Shoulder press.
it was a tough shoulder press and it was a short range of motion. And here he seems like those shoulders are riding high and they're not contracting backwards. So this looks good. I'm going to take in consideration, I know him and I know his age. And so I'm just wondering if there's any mobility going on in the shoulder that we have to make sure we work around. So what you guys saw was him going up and pulling it down, right? Where I would like to see a release and then a contract. You can stretch it. You can let those shoulders go and stretch it, but then they got to come back and they got to pull through and they got to get behind you and to finish that out. Where this was, everything was right here. The shoulder didn't move. And so, Eddie, will you let me know if there's something going on with the shoulders? If there is, let's get those shoulders worked on once a week. I know you got martial arts possibly 3 or 4 times a week. So maybe even when you're there, I'll have Jeff go through some band work next week to really stretch out those shoulders and show you guys some great shoulder range of motions and open those things up, because we can't, that's where the PRP will come into play, something like that. Make sure that you're on the joint supports and we're feeding that connective tissue in the shoulders. We can't get locked shoulders, or frozen shoulders is what they call them.
I'll show you something frozen. Damn.
Wow. There.
Who is this? Kennett.
Wow.
Power bodybuilding week 2. Sometimes a little slight low back pain. I mean,
Whoa, pretty.
I like that.
Whew. Wow, that's pretty awesome. I'm sorry, I like this. You're out there on the ground, you're pushing weights, you're in the boots. Boots are great to lift in, man. Old school combat boots.
Yeah, boots are great.
I love the form. I love his shins. His shins are so upright. You see that? His knee barely even touches his toe area. What I'm talking about is going forward. It's in a great position. The only thing I would do is take out that hip thrust at the end. I'd keep the weight on the body instead of rotating. See how you pull that weight and your hip goes all the way underneath? Yeah, I would stay off of that. I would keep it in more of a locked position, like stop there before you get to that spot.
Can you see my mouse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. You get a little NFL playback.
Right. Can you guys see my mouse or no?
Yeah.
You can't see mine.
We can't see it.
So yeah, that's the spot. That was great. And man, just heart getting your workout and going outside like that.
Nice.
Outstanding. These are great, guys. Man, I'm really proud of you guys. You know, not everybody gets the luxury of the gyms, right? So I love that one. So feedback from James would be slow it down, maybe. Don't look like you're rushing through the set. The second one is Eddie. I want to know more about the shoulders and what's going on with the shoulders. This is the second workout that I've seen him do something, and the form is really, really good. It's just the range of motion with the shoulders or the contraction of the shoulders. And then 3, there's nothing I could say to that except for the fact of when you get to the top, don't kick the ass in to where you take the pressure off the entire body and you're just throwing it on the lower back. Okay, let's go number 4.
Carl.
Ooh, big boy. This here is a big drink of a man. If I remember correctly, I think 6'5" to 6'7", right in that range.
Big boy.
That's a long reach.
Yeah. Well, I suspect I'm high up on the chest. Too high. He thinks he's a little too high.
I'm okay with where you're putting the dumbbells because you're pulling the elbows down. So I'm okay with that. I don't know if it's the video or the buffering of the video, if there's a little catch you're doing at the top. A little snap catch at the top there. Where I just wanted, so you guys understand, at the top it's easy, right? So if you push really, really hard at the bottom and then you get up close to the top and you keep that same effort, it's just going to explode through, and then you do this little snap. And I don't want that. So when you're pushing, there should be, this is the control of it, and then you can kind of come back off. You can pull off the gas pedal a little bit because you know you can push it up here. And that's going to help you save some of the energy down here for the bottom again. Push, 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 come off of it. But I don't want this same push. Ugh, I don't want this. And that's what I see a lot of people do. You know, so control it. And that's where that control comes into play, guys.
Steve Allen.
Oh, wait a minute. Before you go to the next one, James goes, so this is great. I hope you guys understand that this is a great question. He says, Mike, slow it down even though I'm going 100%. 100% has nothing to do with speed, guys. 100% is never speed. Yeah, so let's remove that. I don't know why I don't know why speed would be considered 100%. Because I'll say this, when I'm going 100%, weights are moving much slower than they ever move. So
yeah, I was gonna say because then it's really time.
Then it's really time under tension because I can't move 500 pounds that fast on a bench press.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you're just.
So yeah, there is no such thing as 100% means going fast. It doesn't mean that. Everything is in control. Everything is in control. So if you're doing 10 reps and 10 reps, do your 10 reps and then just walk to the next exercise. There's no rush. Yeah, great question, James. That's not something I would have thought people would think is something. And that's why it's great to have you guys also giving your insight, because I didn't know that maybe some people think that because you're going 100%, you have to get through the set. Never get through a set. Never get through it. Live in it. Take your time, one rep at a time. Boom, 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 boom. Great question.
All right, let's check on Steve Allen. Week 6.
Here we go. All right.
He says he's working through his tight rotator cuffs.
Good. Both, huh?
I guess.
Can you put some plates underneath your feet?
Yeah, you see that?
I would rather your feet be planted instead of you tiptoeing it. Okay. Okay. Now that I see that you put your feet down. All right. So the first thing is your body is not set. So the butt, everything, all that pressure is going on in your joints. So let's stop that for 1 second. We'll pull back into this in a moment here. So guys, when you're setting up, you've got to try to take the weight that you're going to use and disperse it through the entire body on how you're setting up. So if I'll post a video of doing incline dumbbells. Now, just because I'm doing dumbbells and it's up here, it doesn't mean the rest of the body is not tight. I try to stay really, really tight and focused on everything's flexed. And that way it minimizes a direct pressure to the most appointed pressure point. So you got dumbbells like he just had right there. And those things are just weighing right down into his shoulders and everything's sitting there. Mostly if you're relaxed, which he was, believe it or not, a lot of people lift that way. I can see their hips are swaying. The feet are tippy-toeing or moving down or flickering. I can't have that because that's going to be something that you're going to hurt yourself on. So that's a very important thing that now I know that you're lifting this up by yourself. So that's tough, but I would put some plates, maybe if there's a range of motion or length that you can't put your feet down flat from the start. Okay. So everybody do that from now on. When you get into the machine, get into the machine. I don't care if it's squats. Your upper body doesn't just hold the bar, it doesn't bury you down. You stand up underneath it. Okay, that's what I would like for you guys. So let's go back one more time if we can to watch that video from the very start, if you could. All right. So all right, so he puts his feet down. They're not set. I wouldn't even start a rep until that feet is down flat. They're still not down, actually. I thought they were down before. They're still tippy-toe. They're so you can reach the floor. You're just moving them around. Now I know that we're so
It still moves them.
even though I'm talking about dumbbell press and you're like, dude, it's my feet. I don't care about my feet. You really should, because that's the thing that's connected to the ground, which all energy comes from, and that's where the explosion and the power comes through. So good job with the dumbbells. You know, you did that great.